Welcome back, PlayBASIC coders. Here we are again. It's another 4 a.m. in the morning, and building this thing is insane. So the current work has been about the help files. Now let's have a look at them. This has taken so much time, I was almost ready to give up on it. It didn't work within this view here inside the IDE is a HTML view, and that means that in terms of things like JavaScript and styling, it doesn't actually have a lot of the modern day niceties that we have in modern Java. In modern HTML/CSS/Java. So this doesn't use hardly any Java at all, and the old versions use none for this very reason. So we've added one feature. Click. There you go. Yeah, that didn't work. And getting it to work was turned out to be such a pain in the backside. I'm now wondering why I even bothered adding it. But with the amount of stuff in here, it needed that for just simplicity. You can see one extra part here too. So I've started implementing a tutorial section into the highest level of the hierarchy of the documentation. There wasn't one before. These are just boilerplate, they're just template stuff. The rest of this actually has been updated. So this is actually stuff that's actually phrased and working. There's still some ugliness about it, but the way I look at those things is there's two sides of this. There's the building process, and is the main part that I'm sort of working on at the moment, which was crashing tonight, which is another one of these classic problems. And the other process is the styling. So we can style it after, and it's more compartmentalized now. So it works more like the website. So it loads in a template for a page. Inside that template, there are certain key elements that it uses, like a rubber stamp, to paste that element back onto the page. So the builder is no longer what's doing far less HTML generation itself. It's using pre-made components that the designer creates. If that makes sense. So what I want to do is I'll probably have an introduction section at the top. I think maybe tutorials, command sets, libraries, and something extra, maybe something else, or maybe at the bottom there, not really sure. Tutorials will be, if I go back to command sets, I'm going to export a bunch of this stuff here into different tutorial categories, and there'll be a few different levels of this stuff. So initially there probably won't be that much content in it. I'll try and drag some content from the forums, and as I said before, there's a lot of this material that's been written already that just needs to be dragged in and formatted as a document. I don't know how much time I can really give this stuff, to be honest, but we'll give it some more sort of leeway, trying so there should be enough material to help the ball start rolling by themselves. Yeah, look, teaching anyone to do anything is very difficult, and in an age where people just don't want to read, they just want the answer supplied to them without ever thinking about it. Yeah, that's pretty challenging. So these are some ideas for some things we have in the help files there, by the way. So that's how it looks in the IDE, but it actually looks a bit different from the browser. So it's got more of the light blue sort of colouring. That's not working because the styling, the colours and the styling, some of the features we're using here, like just the gentle gradients up the top here, for example. Some of the animations are a bit nicer too in the browser. Not that we really care that much, do we? I wouldn't have thought so. As long as it's, it's okay to navigate and you're not scrolling up and down through, you know, heaps and heaps of content all the time. I would love to have a search in here. If I can think of a way of implementing it and get it to work within JavaScript, that would be fantastic. But I don't want it to be a massive blob of data that's attached to the side of it. All right, so this has been the bane of my existence for the last 2 days. You would not believe getting this to work. It's so mundane. It's like, oh, all because the JavaScript support in the HTML view in the IDE is so old. And this is the thing about having backward compatibility. You know, people forget that this is intended for use with older machines and it happens to run on newer machines. Whereas modern languages run on newer machines and don't run on old machines at all. So that's the point, really. And that's kind of the point with PB2, is it'll be one of those products too where it won't support old machines for the most part, and it might run on some stuff as well. More on that later. Anyway, dudes, that'll do. Sick of this. I'm so sick of it, it's not even funny. But that'll do for now. See you next time. Bye.